Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am your host, Ethan, and this is my co-host, Rick. And here today, we have another update of Marvel United Multiverse campaign.
Thor's Raven.
Thor's Raven update.
Thor's Raven.
I forgot about that. Yeah, the Thor's Raven.
Did you say Thor's Raven?
I did not say Thor's Raven.
Did you say Thor's Raven on the update this morning?
Yes, I did.
Did you?
I did.
Are you sure?
I am sure.
How about a raven?
I have a raven. Well, we have Thor's Raven episode not 15, I believe, but 16 today. So let's go in with the stats, and could you help us out with that?
Yeah, with 5 days to go at 10:46 p.m. Eastern Time, we are at 13,581 backers and $2,336,296.
Interesting. So a bit of money from this morning.
A little bit of money.
A little bit of money from this morning, sadly. And did we unlock any stretch goals? No.
Since you recorded, no. Now, it's a little surprising based off, one, the current stretch goal we're waiting on, I thought people would be ecstatic about.
Yeah, let's take a look.
And two, we had a new optional buy come out today.
Mm-hmm. Because as we all know, we did talk about Wong, and that we unlocked him. And we know that Hobgoblin is the next stretch goal, but we have yet to unlock him. We have not unlocked him yet. But you are right about something. There is a new optional buy. Let's talk about that for today's episode. We have another Kickstarter exclusive. Again, it's an optional buy to add to your package. It is a $15 add-on, and it is called the Campaign Decks. Can you explain to us a little bit about the Campaign Decks?
Yeah, so basically, and probably people have been doing this on their own for a little while now, but basically what a campaign deck is it's just a series of games that are following a story in the Marvel Universe, which is pretty cool. So you may have, for example, some of these stories are things people, if they're fans, have heard of. You've got a Age of Apocalypse story, Maximum Carnage, which was a story in the comic books, Avengers versus X-Men, the Dark Phoenix saga, War of Kings. So what this is you follow, like, for example, and like Age of Ultron. So you'd follow a series of games and play those and see if you survive. And basically, on the campaign card, each game tells you how to set up, who's the villain, what are any special rules, what carries over, what heroes are you allowed to start with and choose from for these campaigns, and if
locations.
you win, locations that are necessary, and the rest of them, maybe 4 of the locations you have to have these locations, but the other 2 can be flexible. Just really cool. Again, adding another thing. Now, one thing they say straight up. These campaigns, because they want to stay true to the story, they cut across multiple Kickstarter campaigns too.
Yeah.
So, for example, I'm sure that the Avengers versus X-Men is going to have Avengers and it's going to have X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just how that is. That was a comic book arc that was pretty cool. It was its own kind of special series for a while. So you're going to have stuff from the first campaign and you're going to have stuff from the second campaign. But pretty dang cool. For example, that Avengers vs. X-Men game, not only is it telling you to set up, but it's going to use the different mechanics from the different sets. So probably the blue team, gold team mechanic where you're going against each other, or maybe the new mechanic where it's truly like in Civil War, team v team, and you're just knocking each other out. It comes with cards to set all this up and lay it out. So that to me was just awesome.
Yeah, and it's cool because it also has different events depending on, what happens. Like, for example, at the Age of Apocalypse, if the Saber-Tooth henchman was defeated, and if you still have at least 4 heroes in the campaign roster, you can play Game 1 again with 1 hero starting with 1 hero token. Otherwise, the campaign is over. So you have to play that game again. You have to. So just some cool little things in there. It even said, like you mentioned, there's going to be certain heroes. But what's also cool is that there's little spins in there. For example, heroes will be added mid-game. So I don't know how that is going to work. But, basically You take
Well-
your character, you trash them, and then you get the new character or something like
Well,
that.
yeah, what I'm guessing is it's just like a story in the comic book, right? You start off kind of a core set, and they start investigating something, or they have a battle with a bad guy, and then maybe the story takes them to another place. Maybe it takes them to like Wakanda. Well, now Black Panther's involved, right? Where he wasn't before, and you do something with him, and then the story maybe jumps you, to somewhere else, and now there's more heroes available. So I could see how that definitely would work. Probably another cool little small detail that's leading us to believe something big or something, another set's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
They name most of the campaigns, but one of the campaigns is called Yet to Be Revealed. So that tells you some box has not been out there yet.
Mm-hmm.
Something's coming that hasn't been revealed yet that we're waiting on.
That's right.
So that's going to be pretty amazing. The other thing that's kind of cool is it tells us what you have to make sure you cover all the campaigns.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, of Phase 1, the first Kickstarter campaign, you have to have the United Core box, The Rise of Black Panther, Enter the Spider-Verse, Tales of Asgard, Guardians of the Galaxy, and United promos.
Basically, all of the expansion with heroes.
I think so. You don't have the Sinister Six expansion in there.
Which I'm quite shocked. I would believe, like...
Well, it's a campaign. Kind of.
Well,
I mean,
its
it's not
own
really
campaign,
a campaign,
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of its own special play. In the Phase 2 box, you have to have the X-Men core box, and this really is almost all of them. It's Blue Team, Gold Team boxes, Deadpool box, Mutant promos, so all the promos, Fantastic Four, First Class, Phoenix 5, X-Force, Horsemen of the Apocalypse. And then in Phase 3, it's everything they've announced so far will be used at some point, or things from everything. So the promos, the Way of Kings, there's actually a Way of
Civil
Kings
War.
campaign, the Civil War box, which could be Team v Team stuff, so those heroes. But also everything but the Coming of Galactus and the Annihilation box will be used, or things from those other boxes will be used. So I found that exciting with Hobgoblin.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
pretty
people are just doing what I've been doing. We've definitely grown in backers, and the backers have kind of flattened. But I think people are tired of just kind of adding a little bit to their pledge. They're like, all right, let's see the all-in. What's the all-in? And Friday's the last big probably video day. Tomorrow we're promised a video.
We promised a video, and every video there's always been some sort of big expansion that they've talked about. Like, for example, last Friday was Civil War, so they talked about that box. Now, we do have the Annihilation box that came out yesterday, but I believe there's going to be something big coming out.
I think they're going to reveal something on there. They've been revealing stuff, trying to get this moving.
Yeah.
Now, it's kind of interesting. I did a little analysis. Right now, the 13,000 backers are averaging about $180, which is nothing small. Now, if every backer that so far has backed, and we know there's people that are just not even backing at all until that all-in comes in. If every backer went all-in at about $330, which is the last all-in pledge. Now, that's not going to happen. Not everybody's backing at all-in.
Yeah.
But if they did, that put us closer to $4 million. So it just kind of tells you there is some room for growth, right? If half the backers went all-in that are there, that are left to not go all-in, or half the backers end up all-in, we're probably closer, we're closer to that $3 million from the first campaign. So there's definitely some room here.
Yeah.
If you're looking in the comments and stuff, 48,000 comments, a lot of interest. So I think people are just kind of waiting for that all-in pledge.
Yeah, they really are. And, we're still waiting on a couple of things. Especially, I've seen it in the comics, a lot of people have been asking for Man-Thing. Others have been asking for Lizard. For Lizard, and there's another famous Spider-Man villain we haven't seen out yet. So there's a couple of even some famous, characters or villains, and they're still not out yet. So it'll just be interesting to see what they'll do with that. But we do know that there's definitely going to be a box. I believe they're going to do like a couple of boxes.
I
tomorrow.
Still think Secret Wars.
Secret Wars.
That's a big one.
Secret Wars might come out tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying after Secret Wars, though, I'm telling you, they're going to release maybe 2 more expansions.
You think so?
I think so. And now I know we're in day 6 right now, so, the campaign's almost, or 5 days to go. So we're almost, it's almost over. But I just feel like, you do all the add-ons for the original series, and then you do the Secret Wars expansion, then you added little extra things to it. I really do think this will be at its maximum potential.
Yeah, I do think so. And, they try to save something kind of big for, they try to save something kind of big to say, hey, as a thank you, here's we're going to give away with the all-in pledge, right? There's always something like that. So, I don't know what that could be. There's stuff out there that could be happening. I don't know if Lizard's that kind of a thing. Is Giganto, a giant Giganto. Maxi that could be in there. Devil Dinosaur with Moon Girl hasn't happened yet.
Devil Dinosaur and Moon Girl, you're right. I would like to see that because I don't know if you all remember, but in the last campaign, X-Men campaign, Cloak and Dagger are a team, right? They're a duo, but they're 2 separate characters. Now, they're made for each other, obviously. So, when they released these 2 characters, they didn't release them separately in the stretch goals. They released them at the same time.
Together.
So, it would be awesome to see that with Devil Dino or with Moon Girl, which, I definitely want Devil Dino and Moon Girl. I love that.
Yeah, I wonder if we're going to get a Secret Wars box, but maybe not. Could we get some kind of a Kang box with a bunch of Kangs, versions of the Kang? Mm-hmm. I know we have a Kang right now.
We do have the King the Conqueror.
King the Conqueror, right? Do we have any kind of is there a Hulk Buster or Thor Buster?
There is no Hulk Buster.
That'd be yet another Iron Man. Yeah. But who knows? Anyway.
Everybody. Obviously we have the Spider-Geddon box, which we'll get more detail on that later. But we have all those other Spider-Mans. Really, what everybody wanted and towards the beginning was like a Thor frog or something like that.
Oh, yeah, the
Thor frog or Crocodile Loki or something like that.
Yeah, that's true.
But
we don't have Morpheus from
the
TVA.
That's right.
Like that. He could be in there somewhere.
That's right. We don't have him. We don't have the lady as well. I forgot her name, but she's the head of the TVA.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Well, we don't have the girl Lokis.
We don't have the
Loki box, but they've already got Loki.
They got
good
Kid Loki.
Kid Loki.
It's all these Lokis, and I don't want it to be just the same old,
No,
Loki
unless they got a
campaign
costume with it.
basically.
But I wonder if Secret Wars the campaign.
I think they will.
It could be.
I think
we know there's
will.
at least another campaign coming, so they're waiting on something to do that.
So right now, before the new expansion comes out, I assume there'll be one tomorrow. So far, what is your favorite one? Now that we have the Annihilation, we have the Age of Apocalypse, we have the Galactus, War of Kings, Secret Invasion, Civil War. Is Civil War still your favorite?
Probably Civil War, just because I like the mechanics it brought with it.
Yeah.
Along with the story.
I think mine will also be Civil War as well. But I've been looking a little bit more in the War of Kings expansion. Those heroes do look very interesting, but the thing is, Civil War just has an amazing mechanic. That's all.
It does.
It really
and
does.
now, what you got to add to the Way of Kings box is this new campaign deck that's obviously kind of built around that.
That is right.
So, what about, what's your favorite optional buy? The ones that have given, I'm not talking like plastic tokens.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the new things that have added new mechanics to it so far.
Well, I don't know. It's really going to be a tie between... Oh, wait, add-ons, crap. Okay, yeah.
I think we've got like teams.
We got the team decks. We have the campaign decks. We also have they're not an optional buy. The equipment cards aren't.
No,
they're
they're
not.
extended.
They're retail.
They're more. Yeah, that's true.
That's right.
True.
They're retail. Well, personally for me, it's probably going to be the team decks still. I'm very anxious to try that out, but the campaign is closely there.
Yeah, the campaign's pretty cool.
So there's just a lot of flexibility now with the campaign decks. Can you play with team decks and things like that? So that's going to be very interesting. And obviously we're doing these little mini what do we like? What's our favorite expansion? But I was thinking maybe after this whole campaign is over in about 5 or 6 days, we'll still have a lot to review, but we will do what's our favorite box, our most anticipated hero that is unlocked, our favorite anti-hero, and our favorite villain and expansion as well.
Can't wait.
So that's going to be very fun, but obviously that's going to be a few days ahead. But for now, I mean, the campaign looks fun, even if it ended today. It's still, you're still going to get a lot of content, but we are waiting for tomorrow.
Yeah, but we definitely have some stuff coming. I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
we're going to get some pretty big stuff coming.
Definitely. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, that's all we have for you today. We talked for a couple of minutes on the campaign decks especially, which is the only new thing that we've had. Hopefully tomorrow we can get that Hobgoblin and talk about him for a little bit.
It needs to happen, baby.
It needs to happen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's all for you for us today. We hope you enjoyed Thor's Raven update. Thor's Raven update number, I believe, 16. And we will see you all tomorrow. Have a good day.
Good night.
Good night.